let's restart and just pretend like we didn't not record for the last 15 minutes. Okay. Welcome back to the Retro Craptacular
Again.
podcast. Where, oh no. Well, we watch bad movies and we decide if they're good or not.
I'm just kidding. Do you want to start over?
Nope, that's staying in.
All right.
We're on a time crunch. Yeah, we messed up earlier. Anyways, so we're just gonna do the whole beginning of the show again. How are you?
Great.
Good.
I'm glad you're glad.
Thanks for asking.
Ugh, there's a weird energy in here.
There's a weird energy in here. Yeah. So Matt, you seen anything good lately?
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't think you had. All right, we should at least pretend like we care. I saw the new Spider-Man.
Oh, the new Spider-Man. I legitimately forgot that it came out.
Okay. This is officially the weirdest episode of the show we've ever done. Oh.
We're not even high or anything.
No,
It's just...
no. I've had 2 sips of this beer. It's very disappointing beer.
And I had some matcha. I should be more alert.
Yeah.
But instead...
I forgot how demon-y matcha makes you.
yeah, well...
Yeah. Anyways, new Spider-Man. It's good. It's funny. It's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, I would expect it to be.
You saw the last one.
Yes.
You liked it?
It was pretty good, yeah. It was pretty good. It was weird having a Spider-Man movie that, like, because we'd had so many Spider-Man movies, they were just like, there's no origin.
Yeah, it's like he's just
story,
Spider-Man.
right? It's just how Spider-Man relates to the new MCU.
Yeah, and that's
really.
the one thing I have to keep reminding myself of is, like, people are saying, like, oh, this is the best Spider-Man movie, and I'm like, no, it's not. Like, they're really good. I really like them, but they're not.
I mean, the Vulture was...
Dude, the Vulture's so
such
good.
a good villain.
Oh man, I love Michael Keaton, and Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio in this is like,
That's one of the reasons I'm most excited for it.
Chef's kiss, Matt. Chef's kiss.
Oh, yes. It's a tasty man.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Better with the beard.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Yeah. Tasty.
Beautiful.
Tasty morsel. I mean, he was pretty good looking before, I guess. Sometimes he just kind of looked like a little,
Well, he did some weird roles.
Yeah. Sometimes he was a little punchable,
Like, if you had only seen him in Nightcrawler, you'd be like, that's not an attractive man.
No. If you watch Nightcrawler and go like, man, I really want to fuck Jake Gyllenhaal, you're deeply disturbed.
There's professional help you can seek.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sure, there's a hotline you can call. Yeah, don't wait to get the help you need.
True story.
And if you have friends that have said that to you about Jake Gyllenhaal and Nightcrawler, maybe, keep a safe distance, report it to someone.
Yeah,
who can help.
Don't keep it to yourself.
Yeah, no.
Secrets are no fun.
Secrets hurt someone. That's some stripper wisdom right there.
Beautiful.
So yeah, no, it's really good. It's really funny, but I have to keep reminding myself that, like, it's kind of too bad. Like, I lament the fact that we're not going to get the, like, down on his luck, can't really pay his rent, has to try and support his aunt and make time for Mary Jane and school and keep a job and be Spider-Man all at the same time. Like, we're never going to get the Spider-Man 2 version of Spider-Man in this universe, because he's friends with Tony Stark, and Tony Stark, left him glasses that control a bunch of, like, military satellites.
Of course.
In his will. He just left that to, like, a 17-year-old.
Because he's Tony fucking Stark.
Yeah. He's an agent of chaos.
Yeah. Good times.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's good, though. Once you make peace with that fact that, like, okay, you're not actually going to get, like, the comic book teenage version of Spider-Man, because, like, Spider-Man's, joined up with the Avengers and stuff before, but usually when he was already established in his career. And this
Mm-hmm.
is still like the beginning of his career Spider-Man, but he's in high school and he has Stark Tech, and yeah.
It's just completely different.
It's just different, and you gotta be okay with that. And like they've changed tons of things in the MCU already
Yeah, well, of
before, right?
course,
Like
yeah.
that like are inconsistent with the comics. So it's like it's not like you just have to accept it, and I think I have, and that's good. But I
That's
still,
the first step.
yeah. I thought, no, what?
Acceptance is the first step.
It's the first step on the road to depression.
No. To recovery, my friend. Recovery.
Oh, I thought. Oh, okay. I thought denial was. Well, those are the stages. Anyways, never mind. Steps, stages, whatever. I
It all
also
ends in death, am I
it
right?
all ends in yeah. You are right.
Woo!
Anyways,
Weird energy in here right now.
we what else? Oh, I watched Stranger Things season 3. I know you haven't because you're
That's correct. I have not yet.
waiting for your wife to return to you so that you can
Oh, my wife.
watch with her.
Yeah, it's just
My wife. Sorry.
I started it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just I'm so excited. I'm so excited for it that I just couldn't bring myself to watch it alone. Like I needed
Yeah.
to share that experience with someone. That's how I felt about it.
I don't get that at all. I just watched it. It was amazing.
Yeah, I'm a lot more emotional than you are though. So
Can't relate. Yeah, I told Anna, I was like, look, catch up because I'm starting on Thursday when it comes out.
I only know two ways: my way and the highway.
Basically, that was the ultimatum that we all gave her with Game of Thrones too. She was like 2 seasons behind, and we're like, look, it starts in a month. If you're not caught up, we're not waiting. And she was like, can someone just summarize it for me? And so then we did.
Oh, nice.
And then every now and then she'd be like, hey, whatever happened to that guy? We're like, oh, he died.
That's probably usually the answer when you
Yeah.
ask that question.
Well,
in
yeah.
Game of
After like
Thrones.
3, I was like, look, if you haven't seen someone in like 2 episodes,
They're dead.
they've died.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyway, she is catching up though. For those of you wanting an update on how many episodes of Game of Thrones has my girlfriend slept through, update. She's finished season 1.
That's really good to know.
Yeah. She did have to go back and rewatch portions of some episodes because she didn't make it all the way through without falling asleep.
I still just can't understand it.
Dude.
I mean, like,
Me neither.
like falling asleep watching anything. Like I I can get some people falling asleep watching something. I don't do that. But
Yeah.
Stranger Things,
I think it's
so engaging.
honestly, I think it's just like it's just a thing. Like watching stuff makes her want to fall asleep. We can stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning if we're not in front of the TV. Like that's
Weird.
no problem. Yeah, like both of us are total night owls, but for whatever reason, as soon as we start watching stuff,
Just out.
she's out. And I think she says it's worse when we're together because we're usually cuddling, and then she's like really comfy.
Yeah.
And so then when she falls asleep, when she's watching on her own, it just kind of it happens more gradually. But anyways, that's enough about her. Show isn't about her.
Enough about your girlfriend, Aaron.
Yeah, man. She doesn't listen to this. She won't care.
What else do you want to say about her?
Where to start?
Our listeners really want to know.
Look, she's a wonderful person.
If you have questions about Aaron's girlfriend, email us at retrocrappod
Yeah, man.
at gmail.com.
I might not answer them on air, but I will answer all of them.
Like just to yourself out loud?
No, like on email.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh yeah, I got confused. Yep. You just read the email and you say the answer out loud and delete.
Like, oh, we got an email here about your girlfriend. No. Next. Ooh, jeez.
Oh.
Bumping mics over here. We literally just watched 2 trailers right before we started here.
Yeah.
The first one was for Picard, which
Yes.
like looks good. Excuse me 1 second while I unplug this fridge.
I really hope that the fridge wasn't actually audible, so that you just said that, and there was no change for the listener, and then just excuse me while I unplug this fridge, because then it just sounds like some kind of euphemism for getting over your constipation or something. I don't know, but it just excuse me while I unplug this fridge. It's some kind of weird euphemism.
I gotta go unplug a fridge. Hold on.
Oscar's got a cat up his tree.
Gotta go see a man about the female equivalent of a horse. Where were we? Picard. Jean-Luc.
Which looks pretty damn good.
Yeah. Do you wanna talk about it for a second? I gotta answer this text real quick.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I'm engaged. Ha! Engaged. I'm not engaged. Hold, just to be. I'm engaged in the conversation, not in my relationship. Continue.
when my brother Nathaniel got engaged, all he sent to his siblings was a picture of Jean-Luc Picard pointing, and it just said the word engaged.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it did take me a second where I was like, is Jean-Luc Picard engaged? Oh, engaged?
Oh, he proposed.
And like, I had to put it together, but that's all he sent us.
Nice, dude.
Fucking amazing.
That is good. All right, new deal. I will do the same thing to inform you of my engagement should this ever occur.
Perfect.
And now I've said it on a podcast, so I have to do it.
It's literally, well, I mean, you haven't actually posted it on the internet yet. So
That's true.
I was gonna say it's literally out there forever, but
yeah,
you can still stop this. You can still stop this from happening.
No.
This doesn't need to be.
Talk about Picard.
So Picard, yeah. He's.
It looks fun, right?
Like I was about to start saying he's an old man, but he looks exactly the fucking same to me. Like
he does and he doesn't. Like I'm sure if you go and pull up an old episode of Next Gen, he'd look way younger. I feel like his neck has like sunken in on itself a little bit.
Oh yeah, well,
more than.
Well, he is a lot older,
Yeah.
yes, but I love Jean-Luc Picard, like as a character, really. Like
Oh yeah.
Definitely,
Way better than Kirk.
Yeah,
Way better than
I definitely
Kirk.
watched a lot more Next Gen when I was growing up than the OG. Not to say I didn't watch the OG and love it. It's just that I'd watch the OG and love it because of how dumb it was at times. I'd watch Next Gen and love it because I thought it was actually a really good show. So to see Picard again, like in his twilight years, I guess, to revisit that character is just like I giggled like a ninny at one point while we were watching that trailer.
Yeah. Well, it's when he said engage.
Yeah, engage. And I just like I can't recreate it because I'm not a ninny on command.
Yeah.
But I like the fanboy part of me is super excited for that. But then aside from that entirely, visually the trailer was gorgeous.
Yeah, it looks really
super
good.
Interesting.
Like I don't know if you
some kind of crazy mystery gonna be in there.
Yeah, it's got to be the Borg, right?
Well, it is Borg related, yeah, but we still don't know how.
That's true. Did you watch any of the new Discovery?
I have not seen Discovery.
Okay, yeah, don't. It sucks.
Yeah, my diehard Trekkie father told me it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it must be garbage.
I tried. I really tried. And
I couldn't even really get into that. The one was it the one before it with Captain Archer?
Enterprise?
Yeah.
Enterprise was no good, dude.
Yeah, I watched I watched a little bit of it, but it was like.
But also, I like Voyager, and like that it seems to like be the universally hated one among like.
Yeah, so many people hate on Voyager.
Yeah,
Voyager's super interesting.
I really like it. Yeah,
super interesting. It's got some great characters.
Deep Space Nine is the one that's boring.
Yes. What are they even doing?
I don't know.
What is ever happening in that one?
Get out of here, fly. Anyways, yeah, I'm actually stoked to watch this Picard series, and I probably will.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Space.
Space, and well, it's gonna be in space. Yeah, I imagine it'll be on Crave
Probs.
because it's gonna be on. I think it's gonna be on CBS All Access in the States, and so then in Canada we'll get it on Crave.
Cool. Yeah,
That's what happened with Discovery.
it looks super interesting.
Yeah, I'm digging it. But the other thing that we saw a trailer for, which we didn't know existed until like literally like 2 seconds before we started recording, was the trailer for a little film called Jojo Rabbit, starring Taika Waititi as Adolf Hitler.
It. Like, are there words to describe it? I mean, like,
incredible.
it
It-
looks so funny,
It looks amazing. It's like,
but it's like,
yeah,
should it be?
yeah, it should. Well, because it's like he plays this kid's imaginary friend version of Hitler.
That seems to be what the movie's about. Yeah. It's like this little bullied child. He's like some kind of
I think he's in the
Boy
Hitler.
Scout
I
or
think he's in
something?
the Hitler Youth.
Is that what he's in?
I think, yeah.
Yeah, there's some kind of weird neo-Nazi stuff going on.
No, I think it's just Nazi stuff.
Oh, was that just set in the?
Yeah.
Okay, I got too distracted by Taika Waititi as Hitler. So
Yeah, no, it's set during World War II.
right, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, the overall.
I think the plot of the movie, this is what I read a while. It's based on a book. Is like he's in the Hitler Youth, but then he ends up hiding a Jewish girl in his attic or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, the overall sentiment that I was left with after watching this trailer is: did Taika Waititi just make Hitler funny?
And I think the answer is yes. Yes.
I mean, like I need to see the movie before I can make that statement, but it looks.
I mean, Quentin Tarantino
really
kind of
funny.
made Hitler funny a little bit.
Yeah, well,
Not
I mean,
like haha funny,
yeah, not like.
but he did like blow his face apart with a machine gun.
Yeah, it wasn't so much like Hitler was funny. It was as much as making fun of Hitler, though, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
The inverse is a lot harder.
Taika Waititi as Hitler, as imaginary friend Hitler. Oh my god, so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
Like, there are 100% going to be some people who hate this movie.
Yeah.
Like, that's a given. But
Now, speaking of things that people hate, a couple weeks ago, last week maybe, 2 trailers came out.
oh, I hate that.
One of them was for It Chapter 2. The other one was for a certain musical film. One of those things was the most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And the other one was the trailer for It Chapter 2. So, you haven't seen the trailer for Cats yet.
I have not seen the trailer for Cats.
Okay. We're going to do a live reaction right now on the podcast. And if it's not good, I won't leave it in. I'll just cut to your reaction. Also, I don't know how much the audio might bleed on from the TV, but we might not be able to post it. I don't know.
Only one way to find out.
There's like a copyright thing, but we'll figure it out.
All right. Engage.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get the thing.
But I said engage.
Okay, just hold on. I
Oh
gotta
my
get the.
gosh.
Fucking.
Working with you is like trying to.
All right, engage.
tweeze us- Oh. Oh, I'm. Those are. Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh. So they're not dressed like cats so much as they're like CG cat people.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah.
I'm uncomfortable.
In what way? Describe your
Milk bar.
uncomfortableness.
Fucking motherfucker. Is that cat person wearing a coat of a cat?
Yeah.
But they're cat people. They're not people dressed as cats, right?
They're cats.
They are cats.
I think they're supposed to be cats.
Right, and so because the bed's giant. They're little kitties. But the hair.
It's the tails for me. That's
Yeah.
one of the most unsettling things.
Oh dear. I love Judi Dench.
It's Jason Derulo.
Oh, Idris Elba, yeah.
He's McCavity.
But no, even just like there's something in the faces. Ian McKellen. Oh, lovely. Fuck.
Okay, this is the worst part here. Hold on. Look,
What is?
her mouth is too big for her face.
I think that's the big thing is the mouths. That's what there's like. Okay, so there's CG cats, whatever, right? They're probably their bodies are doing dancing shit. They look great, and that's fine and everything. But the faces aren't good enough. They don't match enough because
And I mean,
because
like,
they're not cat-like.
I looked up a picture of the actress, and she does have some voluptuous lips. But like, it's still slightly too big.
No, it looks like the fucking Thumb movies when they have this giant
yes.
mouth
That's exactly
over top
what I
of
said.
a fake
I said
face
it looks
of
like
a thumb.
I said it looks like Thumb Wars.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. This holiday season, I won't believe. Fuck you, Tom
serious?
Hooper. Fuck you. I'm sorry, Tom.
Oh fuck, dude! I was taking a video and then it didn't record. I was gonna Instagram that shit. Oh well.
Well, you fucked up.
I fucked right up.
All right, now we'll watch Cats, an inside look.
Oh what? No, stop. Okay. Shutting down.
Like how the next one after the Cats trailer was a video called "Let's Fix the Cats" trailer.
Oh god. I keep bumping stuff.
Jeez, are you just like toasted right now on that beer that you've barely started drinking?
Foley, man. Can you turn the TV off? You have the remote over there. It's close to you. Anyways,
No, that was weird.
it's unsettling, right?
Yeah,
like it's disturbing.
The faces aren't right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I would much rather they relied 100% on costume, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
rather than CG up the bodies and especially the faces. Because no,
it's upsetting. And like one of the only reasons I brought this up is because we did talk about it on the podcast a couple episodes back when you had said something about like the live action Lion King, how your first thought was like, oh, they're gonna do like an adaptation of the Broadway play. And I was like, Matt, you're an idiot. Who the fuck would ever do something like that? That's the stupidest thing ever. No one in their right mind would ever do like a CGI makeup Broadway play thing of the Lion King. And ultimately I was right. But
in some ways,
in a very, very different way, I was so wrong because that happened.
here's Cats.
It's basically just
No.
yeah.
They just
they
couldn't.
It's the thing of nightmares.
They couldn't hit that middle ground of they're cats, but they're people.
Yeah. And like, would it have been better if they were like had like more cat faces? Like if their faces were more cat-like?
Yeah, because the things that stood out as weird and as you said unsettling
Yeah.
were the mouths and sometimes the eyes.
Also, like, why not just do makeup? Like, I get that it probably takes a while, but
Yeah. Like
also just don't.
we can suspend disbelief. Like
Sure.
you can just have cat makeup on and we'll know that
Yeah.
they're cat people.
Sure. Totally. Like, if they did this in the 90s, that's what they would have done.
100%.
Also, I realize I don't know any songs from Cats other than that song at the end there.
But sung by the girl in
Yes,
School of Rock.
the only reason I know that is because the girl in School of Rock, where she's like, I can sing, and she's like, memories all alone in the moonlight, not, and oh,
Oh, yeah.
that's the only thing I know from Cats.
Same. So I mean, like, there is the possibility that if we were fans of the musical, that maybe we would be more excited about this. Hey, listen, if you're a
Maybe.
fan of Cats the musical,
Email,
let us know if
Twitter, Gmail, anything at retrocrappod, retrocrappod@gmail.com, whatever. Email us and let us know, and let us know why.
it's the big one. Yeah,
That's our action item for this month.
mm-hmm.
What the fuck is up with cats and why do you like it? That's what I want to know. When I say what the fuck is up with it, I just mean like I don't know anything about it. What's it about? It's about cats. I assume there's a plot.
Yeah.
The cats forgetting things. That's why they got their memories are all alone in the moonlight.
No, I imagined it being more like an Oliver and Company kind of story. You know?
Come again.
Why should I worry? Why should I care?
Is that like the Aristocats?
It's not.
Okay. That's my frame of reference for cat movies.
No. Yeah.
And even then, it's been a while since I've seen the Aristocats. Is it any good?
Aristocats?
Does it hold up?
Fucking hilarious.
Okay,
I
good.
love it.
Good.
It's
I
so
loved it when I
funny.
was a kid, but I don't think I remember anything that happens in it.
Like, I mean, the racial insensitivity definitely stands out in certain areas, as many Disney movies do.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
Okay, Disney released a statement a couple weeks ago saying that like, no, Song of the South will not be on Disney Plus when it comes out.
Thank goodness.
And I'm like, that's so fucked that you had to say that because like we were all like joking when we said put it on there. Like,
I hope that we were all joking.
so anyways, cat seems like a bad idea to
Yep.
me. But hey, maybe it'll make a fuck ton of money.
And really, isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah, it is. Now, speaking of things that made fuck ton of money, I don't know if this did or not. I don't.
We watched a movie.
We watched a movie. We watched Razorback.
Out here is where it will find you. She was the last one to see it. She's missing. It was an accident. Now, he must face it
Thought you might know what happened to her.
alone. God has created it, and hell has given it a name. Now, there's a new breed of terror. Razorback.
Oh boy.
Took our annual trip down and
Yeah.
watched maybe the weirdest Aussie movie we've watched
Yes.
so far. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I mean, I think you've kind of let your opinion slide out a little bit and slip out a little bit. But,
Just a little, y'all.
Yeah. So basically, the movie is Jaws, but with a giant pig. Except the pig isn't in the movie all that much.
Yeah, and is by no means the scariest part.
And yeah, and it, like in a lot of ways, isn't even the main conflict. Isn't with the pig. Like it is for one character.
No, I guess the pig's kind of consequential. Yeah.
Yeah, like it is a big deal for one character, but then that character dies, but gets killed by the pig, and then let's start from the top. So, an American woman. Well, no,
That's not the top.
that's not the top.
No,
Yeah,
it's a weird movie, guys.
it's a weird movie.
Buckle up.
An Australian grandpa named Jake. Yeah, Jake Cullen.
Sure.
Yeah, Jake is watching over his grandson in his cabin in the outback when suddenly a giant boar just rampages through his house, and I mean literally like busts through the wall and destroys his house.
Yeah, it goes through him, breaking his
Yeah,
leg.
yeah. And grabs his grandson and runs off into the
Somehow.
outback. Yeah. The pig moves around fast in this movie.
Very fast, and we don't get very good shots of it, and the
No.
camera work is horrendous.
I'm guessing the pig wasn't very good
I'm assuming.
or like maneuverable. So they're like, don't really show it.
Yeah.
There was that one scene where it was like in broad daylight and he was like shooting at it, but it wasn't moving. It was just sitting there.
Yeah, just sitting there taking shots.
Yeah. So I'm guessing you couldn't really move it without like 6 dudes like picking it up and kind of shoving it forward. Yeah.
that's probably the case.
Um.
But yeah, it stole a child somehow.
Yeah. Then cut to 2 years later, this American reporter is sent down to Australia to do a piece on the kangaroo slaughter.
Mm-hmm. From New York.
Yeah. And so she goes to this like poduncle town in the middle of like northern Australia, probably. Like right in the
Worse than Podunk.
yeah,
It's Po-Funk.
dude, it's wrecked. Um, and yeah, so it's just like this like shit splat town,
That's a really good descriptor
Yeah.
for it, actually. Yeah.
just in the middle of the outback, and no one around for miles.
Especially woman.
Yeah, and it's like mostly just like it's weird. The town seems to be mostly consisting of kangaroo shooters who are there to shoot kangaroos.
Yep.
Stop them from bothering people, I guess. But if they weren't there to shoot kangaroos, no one would be there. And no one would need to shoot the kangaroos because there'd be no one there. Because they're in the middle of the fucking outback.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I mean, I guess they did have, like, I think they were turning kangaroo meat into pet food.
Yep,
I think.
there are 2 landmarks in the town. One
Yeah.
is the bar where everyone is all the time.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the sausage factory that is barely functioning. It's an old shit show.
Yeah.
And they appear to be making kangabangas.
I feel like this is a pretty, I mean, aside from the giant pig, like that whole part about like hanging out just in the bar all the time, like is like a pretty accurate depiction of like rural Australian life. Like yeah, just based on like I listened to this podcast a while ago where they were talking about this other movie called Wake and Fright, which is about this guy who's a teacher in a town similar to this. And like all he wants to do is get enough money to buy a train ticket to Sydney and get out, but he just like can't.
Yikes.
And like all they do is just like hang out in the bar all day, and there's just like this like society of enablers where like, come on, mate, just one more beer, just have another beer, mate, just have another drink, mate, it's all right, and it's like, and
That's
so I was listening to
scary.
this podcast from these guys that actually like they had spent some time living up like outside of Darwin, like way in the northern territory in Australia, like far away from anything that resembles Australian civilization, like literally on the polar opposite end of the continent.
Yikes.
And they were saying like, yeah, like it's so accurate, like
That's scary.
yeah, like I think it's a hard place to live. It's mean to people,
Sounds like.
and it because it's just unforgiving. There's nothing. People went there to mine opals, a lot of them.
Yep.
That's why a lot of those towns started up, right? And then once the mines dried up, then
Nothing to do but drink and shoot kangaroos.
yeah, which like sounds like a fun Saturday, but I don't want to do that every day for the rest of my life.
Hell no.
Like you could just leave. But yeah. Anyways, so she goes to do this piece, and they don't like her coming around asking all these kinds of questions about kangaroos and them shooting kangaroos, because like what's it to her?
I guess. But
not
they just
her-
like
it's not
before
her
she opened her
business.
mouth, they hated her. Like they were immediately just like distrusting of her.
Well, look, they
And
were
I think it's because they don't know how to act around women. That's my theory.
well, yeah. There's that, and they're also I think they're kind of just rankling at the weird newness
Oh yeah, rankling at the weird newness. I get that.
when there's just a new person, especially an American person and an American woman person to boot.
That's just too much for them to handle.
Yeah. But there's these 2 crazy guys in town that run the pet food factory.
Sausage factory.
Is it a sausage factory?
They're not making pet food. They're skinning kangaroos and putting their guts on conveyor belts.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought it's called Pet Pack. Isn't that?
Yeah, but pet food specifically was never mentioned. I'm pretty sure they were making sausages. There's that whole time
Oh.
where that guy is trying to describe sausages to the American, and he's like, "Bangers, mystery bags." And the American's like, what are you talking about?
Is that what he was saying? Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that. I couldn't understand what half of them said.
Oh, easily. I mean, like, aside from the really, really thick accents, there was also just a lot of really poor audio quality. So
Yeah.
we only got about half, maybe, of the movie.
And and like the two brothers, like half the time they spent like yelling at each other in these like thick Australian accents.
Yep.
And but also like one of them just has like this really like high squeaky kind of annoying sounding voice. And like so he's like almost impossible to understand.
The other one was just making sheep noises the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like, that was his laugh, I think we were supposed to be
Yeah.
led to believe.
Yeah. I
He
think
was
it was.
just, he just sounded like a sheep.
Super weird movie. So anyways, they don't like that she's there filming, and so they go out one night to quote unquote scare her. Which turns into them running her off the road in her car and then attempting to rape her. Well, the one guy does.
One dude. Yeah.
The-
And they're just like,
his name is Dicko.
Dicko. Yep.
What's the other brother's name?
It's short for Dickhole.
Ah,
His brother's name, I couldn't tell you.
I can't remember.
It wasn't as memorable as Dicko.
It wasn't his member. Yeah, I just couldn't get over the fact that his name was Dicko.
Yep.
Anyways, so
Yeah, he like drags her out of the car, pulls her by her hair,
yeah,
begins the raping process. Doesn't get very far, thankfully.
Yeah.
It's all very horrifying and
yeah,
like, and the dude. Now, like, so there's a moment where he's crouched down and his brother's got like the spotlight of their truck shining down on him and
Yeah.
and the woman who I thought was the lead character of this movie. Turns out not.
ooh,
And he looks over at his brother, and his eyes do that thing like when you take a picture of of like a wolf,
When he
and the
turned around, yeah.
flash catches his eyes, and his eyes do that.
yeah,
And I was like, holy shit, this all makes so much sense because he's not a human.
yeah,
He can't be human.
yeah.
This all makes so much more sense.
You thought he was gonna be like a demon or something?
He's a fucking goblin.
Yeah,
Yep. Either like wearing human skin or using some kind of magic, like a fucking goblin.
I think they just kind of did that as like an effect to make him, because you know, like when you shine a light on like a kangaroo in the movie, like their eyes kind of do that too.
Yeah, but like,
I think it was just an effect to be like, yeah, he's an animal.
well,
Because our eyes wouldn't do that.
no.
They don't have the. What are you looking at? What?
No, sorry, hold on. I think I see an animal that isn't my dog. Holy motherfucking shit, there's a whole family of raccoons. Oh, dang.
Oh, Matt.
Hello, Aaron.
Sorry about that, everyone. We just had to fight some raccoons off. It's
No big
fine.
It's the whole family getting all up in our backyard.
Yeah,
Where my dog is.
Up in a tree.
I did not know raccoons just climbed trees so high.
Yeah.
Like they're like 4, 5 stories up a tree.
Yeah, that's how we measure trees, is in stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just well up in there.
Yeah, but like they're gonna come back down.
I think
I bet it's the same family that stole your avocados that one time.
it probably was.
And that's
Okay.
not a euphemism.
It's not a euphemism. Quick story. I don't have screens on any of my windows except for the one window that I don't use in the room that I don't use in this place.
Classic.
But yeah, my kitchen window doesn't have a screen on it, and so I bought some avocados and I put them in a bowl on my windowsill because they were still pretty green. I needed to ripen them up, but it was also really hot one night, and I cracked open the window.
Just a crack.
Just a crack,
Like
like
a stick.
maybe, yeah, like there's maybe inch and a half of window open. Anyways, I get there the next morning, my avocados are gone. And I look out into the backyard and your dog is out there and she's got one of the pits in her mouth. And I'm like, well, that's not good.
Nope. Because fun fact, avocados are poisonous to dogs.
Yeah. Yeah. But she seemed not dead.
Yep.
So That was good. And yeah, and then I just found like the skins like shredded, and like she was playing with one of the pits. So like I took that from her because I'm like, probably shouldn't have that. Yeah, some raccoons stole my avocados one time. I was real pissed about it.
Yep, just reached right in your window into your kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
stole your fruit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Still mad about it. Where were we before we had to go battle raccoons?
Dicko was about to get his
Yeah. So the boar shows up.
non-consensual freak on.
Yeah, boar shows up and scares the brothers away. And
Yeah, and I definitely thought, like, I remember just before that happened, I was like, oh my gosh, is the boar going to show up and actually be the hero?
and in a way it was
But in a way, it
for
very much...
for a second,
Yeah.
and then it just like ate the woman.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It scared them off. They ran away. And then she, like, got in her car. And then all of a sudden it was by her passenger window. And then it ripped the door off.
Yeah.
And stuck its head in. And it was, again, the camera work was, like, so bad. It was hard to see what was going on. But then eventually we got the impression that, it had her leg in its mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. It gets her leg in him, and I thought that scene actually was pretty. Like that one worked pretty well because it was like such a small space. So they just kind of like you did the boar. They didn't have to do a whole lot with the boar
Yeah.
to make it look good. Like it was dark and it was in a tiny car, so they just kind of like shoved it in there, and it like picked her up, and she was getting like picked up and dropped like in the seat, and eventually just gets like ripped out of the car.
But it was still really confusing for me because I thought that the beginning with the old man was kind of setting up the story, and then he would come back later. And then we cut to our main character, this woman who's a reporter. But then she gets killed by this boar.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, story's not about her.
But then the old man comes back.
Yeah. He's there. She like briefly tries to interview him, and he's like, I love killing razorbacks.
Yeah.
And
and then he investigates the scene of the murder.
Yeah, because
he's on the hunt for this razorback that killed his grandson.
Mm-hmm.
So it, like from then on, it's basically like her husband flies to Australia to try and find her because he finds out she's been missing.
Yeah, because she was a news reporter. The
Yeah.
news gets out that she's just gone.
Yeah. And she was, running like a sensitive kind of story too, right? Or working on a kind of a sensitive story about raccoon, or not raccoon,
Those fucking
kangaroo.
raccoons in the mind.
Yeah, kangaroo slaughter, right? So, so he goes to the pet food place and like meets up with the brothers, and they'd end up taking him out to hunt. I keep wanting to say raccoons. Hunt kangaroos.
Motherfucking raccoons.
Yeah, hunt some
You
kangaroos.
just hate them so much.
I hate them.
Get your towel.
Yeah.
Time to whip some raccoons.
Raccoon killed my father.
Man, your father's alive.
Yeah, he's so alive. Just saw him the other day. Yeah, they go out hunting kangaroos at night because how you kill kangaroos, basically you shine a spotlight on them and they'll just like stand there and look at it, and then you just shoot them.
Yeah, they'll just freeze.
Yeah. And I guess they shoot one and it's not dead, and so the American guy, what is his name, Carl? I think it's Carl Winters. Yeah.
Yes, it's Carl, but he tells them that it's Bill.
Yes, and he also tells them he's Canadian, and then they say, Canadians are Americans, aren't they?
Oh boy.
Which I'm like, nope.
And in my head, I was like, it makes sense that they would think that because they're just goblins who live in Australia. Why would they know any better?
The rare Australian outback goblin.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. So he's like, oh, you didn't kill it, and they're like, of course we didn't kill it. If we kill it now, like it'll be super stiff by the time we like come back to get it, right? Like,
Yeah,
I guess
because they
they're
need
gonna
to like get it back to the facility for skinning and
yeah.
gutting, and so they like let it have a slow death.
Mm-hmm. And So he like takes a butcher knife and kills it, and then they're like, "Well, guess what? Now you can stay here and gut it and clean it and skin it, and we'll be back in like 6 hours to get you."
Yeah.
And so they drive off and leave him, and he ends up. Well, he hears some pigs, I guess. Something spooks him, and he goes running, and he climbs up a windmill tower.
I think he hears the boar.
Maybe he hears the boar.
I
Could
think
be.
the boar is.
I mean, we don't see it ever, right?
Well, I think there's a scene where it like moves past the camera, like the shadow.
Oh,
of it.
maybe, yeah.
But it was also like he also starts having like weird dreams, like he's half asleep.
Yeah.
But like it's never really clear that he's having weird dreams. It's just that weird stuff starts happening, and you kind of have to assume that it's not really happening.
Was that happening that soon already?
Yep. It didn't happen as intensely as it happened.
Oh,
later,
yeah.
like,
No, he did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this movie goes into like weird surrealism
it's very very trippy.
in a couple points, and I think it's really cool.
Okay.
Like the whole bit with like the horse skeleton coming out of the ground, and
I guess, but it just
Yeah.
to me it just made it really just more unclear what the fuck was happening in this movie.
well, he was wandering through the desert and losing his mind. It's supposed to be subjective.
Okay. It hadn't been that long. It's not like he was out there for days. Or was he? It was very unclear.
I don't know, but he was losing his shit. He's out of his element, and he's in a foreign, hostile environment.
And he's also, and this is an important thing to talk about, very useless.
Yeah, he's not.
He's barely a character. Like, he's our main character, but he's
Yeah.
like, he's basically inconsequential to the plot.
Yeah, basically, like he goes looking for his wife. Like characters that are more interesting would have been like the old guy.
Yeah,
He would have been more interesting, but he ends up getting killed by the boar.
of course.
The other girl that he stumbles upon. So he goes wandering through the outback, and he's fucking hallucinating his like shit, like just losing his fucking mind.
Yep.
Um,
And his shoes are gone at some point.
loses his shoes. He's like
Tears off his sleeves, right?
Yeah, like ties the sleeves around his feet to kind of make shoes. Ends up stumbling upon this homestead, and where this woman, I guess she's not a girl, she's a woman,
She is a woman.
lives by herself and studies pigs, wild pigs in the outback,
Tracking their
tracking their migration.
growth and migration
Yeah.
patterns, yeah.
So she's out there by herself, so she's just showering in this outdoor shower, all on her own because she thinks she's alone in the outback. And this is pretty funny actually. He like kind of like wanders up and he doesn't make any sound, so she like turns around and sees him and like screams, and he also screams and passes out. And she just kind of like puts her hands on her hips and like just like spits a little bit of water out of her mouth.
Yeah.
And this gives this look of like it's like ugh,
It's like, oh, what the fuck?
what the hell.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, it was really funny. But she's a more interesting character because she's got like
Easily.
skills and abilities and stuff.
Yeah.
Like she knows how to track the pig. She knows how to shoot.
Yeah.
She's resourceful. She saves his ass.
Certainly does, yeah.
Um,
And we learn that she's been living alone for just a year now. Her mother passed away, and like
yeah. And
how like that's been kind of
Jake
hard
is
for
the
her.
only Jake is the only person she really sees.
Yeah, and he
Pretty-
he always says that he's just a phone call away.
Yeah.
And like get to learn a little bit of their relationship there. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, I want to. This dude Carl, just get rid of him. He does
Yeah.
not need to be here at
Yeah.
all.
Send him to be with his wife in the pig.
In the pig.
Because guess what? Jake is going through some pig shit, and he finds her engagement ring.
Bingo. Definitely
So,
digested by pig.
Yeah, she got eaten and then shit out.
Yep.
She got turned into shit.
And it's when he's
That's like the ultimate indignity, isn't it?
getting turned into shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Becoming
is it? You're not
shit.
there for it, right?
No, I
Like,
know, but just like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like such a disrespectful thing to happen to a person
to be shit.
to become shit. Yeah, I don't
well,
know.
I mean, like, yeah, it doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Anyways, so she gets eaten, by the pig and shit out.
Yep.
And
And while he's with I wish I could remember her name now.
Sarah.
Sarah?
Sure, why not?
Sounds right.
I think it's Sarah.
While Carl is with Sarah, and like she calls Jake because like Carl is kind of hallucinating, like, oh, giant boar or something like that. So she calls Jake and be like, someone saw the giant boar, because she believes him. And we learn from her that there's actually like some weird shit going on with the pigs, where it's like they have some kind of virus, or like they're sick, and it's the more sick they get, the more hungry they get, and so they're actually like eating more than they should, and that like the older pigs have started to cannibalize their young.
Huh.
And like they're actually, and so like this giant boar, we don't learn anything about it, but it's not the only boar that is eating meat,
Yeah.
right? Like it's the only one that's humongous and powerful, but like all of the pigs have a taste for flesh, and that also never gets addressed again in the rest of the movie.
Man flesh.
Sorry.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys.
Sorry, I had a toenail caught in my throat there.
Oh, that
Yeah.
not good for you.
It's fine. It wasn't one of mine.
That's so much worse.
uh,
Ew.
Oh, yeah, not one of those sick fucks that eats their own toenails. Wow. Anyways, so yeah, Dicko and Ricko.
Sure,
That's Sicko?
probably.
Yeah.
The Gremlins.
The Gremlins catch up with Jake, and they break his legs and leave him at the watering hole for the boar.
Yep, it's disgusting.
Which shows up and eats him.
Yep.
I feel like we've like skipped over large portions of the plot, but I don't think we have.
Nope.
No.
It just feels like it because a lot of the plot is just really weird shots that make scenes take too long and don't make sense.
Yeah, it's like super real. Like we should mention, this movie was directed by a guy named Russell Mulcahy, who is
How many A's in that? Malcahy.
Malcahy.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Mulcahy.
Malcahy. The way you said it, I thought it was like there are 5 A's at the end of that.
Mulcahy.
Malcahy.
Yeah. No. Definitely not. He is probably most well known for directing Highlander
Oh.
and Highlander 2: The Quickening.
Oh dear.
And he directed one of the Resident Evil movies, I believe the third one.
Which one's that, I wonder?
It was the desert one, I think.
Got a little crows in it or something?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, anyway. Weird
We should
shit.
do the rest of the Resident Evil movies. They all suck.
That sounds good.
I actually haven't seen the 7th one or 6th one, whichever the
That's
last
how
one.
many there are? Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
the last one. I haven't seen the last one. Anyways,
Woof.
and he also directed a bunch of music videos. So he was like, there's a lot of like really good looking shots in this movie. Like especially at the beginning, there was like all those like shots of like the kangaroo next to the fence at sunset and stuff like that. All those like establishing shots, of, like the outback, like those looked amazing. And even like, yeah, the shot where she's like she sees the boar off in the silhouette, like she's like looking through her camera, sees like the boar like going over the ridge, and it's like backlit with this like, yeah, it's really good.
Well, I guess I kind of took those for granted just because the pacing of the movie was so bad.
Yeah, there's like a lot of like good looking shots. Like even in like the trippy balls scene, like there was that shot with like the flares going off and stuff. Where he's like
Yeah.
walking through, like that looked really good.
And like pink smoke comes out of nowhere.
And even the stuff in the meat packing plant at the end, there was a lot of good like, you know, big wide vistas of like this like industrial,
Pretty good location, yeah.
Yeah, and there's like
Dilapidated
smoke coming
factory.
through this fan, you know, and all, yeah, like red light from below. It's assuming it's like being illuminated by all the blood.
Yep.
From the fucking kangaroos.
You just can't get it with those raccoons.
I want them dead so bad.
We should just go outside and wait for them to come back.
Yeah.
Just like wait under the fence.
Yeah.
I mean, beside the fence. You can't really be under the fence. That's underground. But just wait beside the fence.
Definitely.
We'll just get some towels. We'll be ready for them.
So yeah, he finds out that the Dicko brothers killed his wife or left her for dead.
Yep.
He throws one of them down a mine shaft, and then he chases Dicko through the factory there. The whatever. Yeah, it's a factory.
Yeah.
Pet food factory, sausage factory. But then the boar shows up and it eats Dicko, so that's great.
Yeah, that's just desserts right there. Nom, 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 nom.
And then he kills the boar by like luring it onto the conveyor belt and like leaping out of the way at the last second as the boar like falls into the meat chopper thing.
Yeah, it's like this
It's like a giant blender.
Yeah,
With like no safety rails.
it's way
around
too
it.
big.
Yeah.
I don't think that I do not believe that that's a real thing.
No, I don't think so.
But also, that's the only competent thing that this man ever managed to do in this movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, he's running away from the boar in that factory, and like to get away from it for some reason,
oh, I know exactly what
he,
you're talking about.
he jumps up and grabs a pipe to swing on.
Yeah.
The pipe is very, very hot.
Yeah.
And so
And it breaks.
Yeah, and so he screams and tries to grab another part of it, and then it breaks, and he just falls on the ground.
Yeah.
And like,
But
it's
then
so pathetic.
It's so pathetic. But then also the boar like charges at him and he like accidentally impales it on this pipe that he just like his hand is melted to.
Yeah, and then so he stabs it, and then like the boar moves even closer toward him, stabbing itself more, and it's just like coughing up blood in his face.
Yeah.
But that's not how it dies. It's because it's too strong.
Yeah.
Gotta go in the blender. Man, that guy was useless.
Yeah. There's a lot of style in this movie. Like fashion and otherwise.
Yes.
But like yeah, like you can tell the guy like knows how to like put together a good shot, but yeah, the movie itself kind of makes no sense.
No, there's very just bad writing.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
All in all though, I think it was definitely a thing.
It happened.
Can't remember what I was gonna say. I'm trying to look up the Rotten Tomatoes at the same time as well. Let's get some thoughts. What are your final thoughts, Matt?
I hated this movie.
Really? Okay. Well.
Yeah. No, I was. No, it was real bad.
Dude, here's the official summary on Google.
Okay.
A big Australian pig attacks an old man, grabs a baby, and kills a newswoman. Her husband investigates.
That's very succinct.
That's the summary. Like, oh, okay. Good. Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what's your score?
Oh, that's one big pile of shit.
That is one big pile of shit.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna say it's Craptacular.
It's Craptacular.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'd watch it again.
You thought this was bad enough that it was funny? It was just so cringy for me. It was just so cringy. And those two dudes should have been goblins. They weren't. They did not act like humans in any way, shape, or form.
I feel like there was enough good visual stuff in it that I don't think I could. Like, I don't want to say it was shit, but it wasn't also like competent enough for me to say it was good.
So for lack of a wider sliding scale to
Yeah.
choose on, you're gonna go with Craptacular.
I'm gonna go with Craptacular.
Okay, because they were redeemable qualities.
Yeah, I thought there was redeemable qualities to it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, no, I'd rather fight a family of raccoons than watch that ever again.
Well, what do you think Rotten Tomatoes gave it?
15.
No.
Come on.
No.
32.
No. Higher.
Fucking hell. It's not above 50, is it?
67.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Pile of shit.
There's no critical consensus yet, though.
No, it's so bad. It's so bad.
I feel like if it had a more interesting leading man, it would be probably considered.
Yeah, like if the leading man was a character.
Yeah, I think it'd be like that much better, or like that much like I don't think you would have hated it as much.
Maybe, yeah. I
Yeah.
think if every character was as ridiculous as Dicko, then it would have been Craptacular for me.
Maybe, yeah, because like Dicko's insane.
And there's just no explanation for it.
Yeah, well, I think it's just like he lives out in the boonies in Australia, and just like the desert has turned him crazy.
But they all live out in the boonies.
Yeah, and they're all kind of not right.
Kind of not right. Does not describe Dicko.
Yeah,
Dicko's a fucking goblin.
but some people, have the constitution for it, and some people don't.
Ugh. Dicko has the constitution of a goblin.
Yeah, he does.
Terrible.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
That's the show for this week.
this month. We
This
do this
month.
every month.
We do this every month.
Yeah.
That's the show for this month. If you like the show, please
Tell us why.
tell us why. You send us an email at retrocrappod@gmail.com. We're also at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at retrocrappod. Drop us a line. Recommend a movie.
Don't forget to watch the Cats trailer.
Don't forget to watch the Cats trailer if you don't want to sleep ever. If you're ever feeling like, oh, I really want to go to bed. I'm really tired right now, but I also I want to stay up later. Just watch that Cats trailer, man. Scare the shit right out of you.
You will not want to close your eyes.
Yeah, ever. If you like the show, what I was gonna say is, if you like the show, please leave us a review, a rating on iTunes. That really helps out. But also just tell a friend about it. Tell a friend you think might like it. Tweet about it, something like that. Really helps us out a lot. Thank you for listening thus far. We'll be back next month, hopefully earlier in the month, with another movie. I don't know what we're gonna watch yet.
Yeah, we gotta figure that out, eh?
Have you thought about the whole Doctor Who thing?
Not a lot, but
Oh, okay.
I could try harder to think.
Yeah, that'd be good. We have this idea where I don't like Doctor Who, and I've eaten a lot of shit for it over the years.
Not from me, just to
Not
be
not
clear,
from you,
but
but just from other people in general who are
diehard
like,
fans.
"Oh, you like science fiction and comic books and stuff. You probably like Doctor Who." And I'm like, "Fuck no, I hate it." But you like Doctor Who.
yeah, I'm not caught up, but I have very much enjoyed that which I have watched.
Sure. You got to like what? David Tennant?
Oh, no, I've seen
Matt-
all.
Matt
I've seen
Smith?
all of David Tennant and all of Matt Smith.
Okay.
Some of Peter Capaldi.
Peter Capaldi, yeah.
Capaldi. Yeah, and I mean, before Matt Smith was Christopher Eccleston,
Sure.
who I loved. He only got like one season, but he was great. I've also seen much older shit before the reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That shit's insane.
it's hilarious. We should watch some of that old shit.
Okay. Sure. There's just like lost episodes that like the BBC just taped over
That makes so much sense. The show's way too fucking
because
old.
they needed tapes, so they
Yeah.
would just like tape over their master tapes.
That's so funny to me.
And it is, but like I'm in this process right now at work where like I work at a TV station, and like it's like a community TV station. We have like years worth of archives on tape that like no one's ever gonna want to watch again. Like it's just irrelevant content. It's like news and stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
but not even like hard hitting news, like bullshit community news. Like Glenda turned 88 this week.
Yeah,
Good for you, Glenda.
It's not the kind
Guess
of
what? Glenda's dead now. Like
yeah, it's not the kind of news archive that like a detective is ever going to need to look through to solve a crime. Or
yeah,
anything.
it's not like we have like, the live footage of Notre Dame burning down. Like we don't have any of that, right? So it's like,
yeah, that sounds like a lot of wasted space.
but we're still like, oh, we got to treat this material properly. Like we got to back this all up onto tape. And so I'm like, why? Just delete it. Like we don't need it. Like
Put
we
it
need
in
hard
the trash.
we need hard drive space. I don't know how to get it. Like don't need stuff from like 2012. Like it's not even in HD. Like we're never gonna broadcast this
Oh,
again.
well then, yeah.
We're
no.
never gonna broadcast this again. There's no point in keeping it.
Brutal.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, but then I found out the BBC just would like just record over their master tapes because they're like, who's ever gonna want to see Doctor Who again? Just record over it because they needed a tape. Like apparently Eric Idle bought the BBC just like exactly the amount of tapes that they had all the masters of Monty Python's Flying Circus on. He's like, give me these tapes, I will buy you new tapes. Like I want to keep my work.
Yeah,
basically,
that's
right?
fair.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Anyways, we'll so the thing we want to do is I'm gonna get Matt to pick like the 3 best episodes of Doctor Who in his opinion, or his 3 favorites or whatever, and try to get me to like some Doctor Who.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Because I feel like I should give it a shot, but I just can't be bothered to do it on my own.
You have to be forced.
Yeah, so I think this might be a good way to do it. So if you're into that, tweet us. Let us know. Let us know if we should do that. Should we hashtag it? Who dis?
Doctor Who dis?
Doctor Who dis?
That's probably a hashtag.
Doctor Who dat? Who yes and who no?
Doctor Y.
Yeah, and if you think it's a bad idea, hashtag Dr. Y. If you think it's a good idea, hashtag Dr. Why not.
There we go.
That's what it'll be. That's the action item for this month, along with the other one that we had earlier.
Cats.
Which was, yeah, why do you like cats? Cool. Thanks for listening to the show.
Yeah,
and
weird energy in here today.
I like it. It's good. It's fun.
Just sitting it for a while.
Yeah. All right. Take it easy, everybody. Thanks for listening. And keep watching crap.